Welcome to the Modern Basketball Podcast, also known as the MLB Podcast. I'm Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast, where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from the previous games from the previous day. Out here this Sunday afternoon, Ja? Well, actually Sunday morning.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm smacked. Nah, I'm gonna stop playing. Nah, I'm good.
It's not good to try to fit in. My mom told me not to be a follower.
My mom told me the same thing, but yeah, I didn't like listening. I was too rebellious.
Who do you follow?
I can tell you one thing I don't follow is trends. Well, I don't follow trends. And do not try to put me in the spot. No, just go on.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yes, you are. You about to say something slick right after you move on. Right as you about to move on. How much you want to bet?
I wasn't gonna say anything. Why would I say anything to anybody about an app that you just followed and talk to mad people?
Yeah. You see? Yeah. I knew
What?
I knew you were gonna say something slick. Just move on.
But everybody has that app. It's Instagram, isn't it?
I don't got Instagram.
Oh, you got the other Y app. Anyway. Oh, a good day. I hope everyone will have a good day. It is an early upload, as I mentioned. There is a game a few hours away, of course, that we will get into when we do our predictions. So that's why, hence the early upload. But a lot happened last night around the association. A lot of big games, a lot of game-breaking performances, a buzzer beater, and a return. But first, shall we start off with, of course, the greatest rivalry in NBA history, the game between the legendary Los Angeles Lakers 17 championship up against the Boston Celtics 17 championships. And this game just felt like a Celtics-Lakers game. A lot of defense, a lot of missed shots, a lot of hustling, a lot of scrambling, a lot of wild basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, this felt like finals. It really did. Tatum came to play. Brown came to play. LeBron came to play. Besides 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, AD came to play. Schroeder came to play. And this was a really entertaining game. Sadly, though, in the fourth quarter, or late, not late in the fourth quarter, in the fourth quarter, Marcus Smart had a injury, a calf injury. Hopefully, he'll be okay. He did leave the game and didn't return, so prayers up for him, because the Celtics need him, because they already they lack a post defense, which we will get into. They can't lack a perimeter defense defender as well.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Hold on there.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Love cutting me off. This guy's crazy. All right. Like I said, a good game, good back and forth affair. It looked like the Lakers were going to send this game off, comfortably late in the fourth quarter with a little run. But even though that was down 93-87 with 2 minutes to go, the Celtics came rushing back with a great defensive play, forced a turnover on Braun, forced had some good defense on the Lakers, made some big shots. Tatum, Brown, of course.
Yeah.
Forced a turnover on AD late. And Celtics had a chance to take the lead and win the game. Cardiac Kemba, step back, a shot we've seen him make so many times. And unfortunately, it did not go in this time. And the Lakers were able to pull off this win, 96-95. Now, you can talk.
Well, is one specific part that you said. The Celtics made a run down in the fourth quarter a little bit to try to try to get this game back after the Lakers had their small run. And yet Tatum was just balling. Tatum was doing what Tatum does. And Jaylen Brown, again, he's looking so so much more polished as the years go on and on and on. Like, you know what I mean? He's getting better and better with his offensive game. And they're both great elite scorers. And what great elite scorers do is they make clutch shots. They make clutch buckets. And that's what they was doing down the stretch. But unfortunately, things did not go their way, even though they did have an opportunity. As just like what you said, AD got stripped. Celtics had an opportunity to get a game-winning shot, and it just didn't go down. Out of all the moments he does his step back, it just doesn't convert into a bucket, and that's the unfortunate thing for Kemba. But outside of that, scrappy, hard nosed. This was more of a game of when you want to talk about exchanging buckets. It was more about exchanging tough buckets in order to exchanging tough buckets. And this is where you see where pure hoopers shine.
Yep, the Lakers had some big bench production from Montrezl Harrell and Kuzma as well, who helped them stay in this game because, as I said, this was a gritty, grind out game for both teams.
Yeah.
I mentioned that Marcus Smart went down and they can't lose a perimeter defender because they don't have a post defender. And the post defender, well, that really showed because AD was cooking. He was tearing them up in the paint, getting any rebound, scoring at will. Any mismatch, basically anytime he got the ball was a mismatch because anybody's shorter than him. No one can guard him on the Celtics team. No one has a chance. No one can even contain him.
And it looks like whenever he puts up a shot, it's just going in. Like you just like have no chance, especially on the low block near the baseline. It's just like no.
Bron had a good game for mostly the entire game. I mentioned jokingly the final minutes. Yes, in the final minutes he didn't have the best performance.
Yeah,
missed some shots, had a key turnover when the Celtics were down by 3, in which then the next play Tatum scored and then down by 1. It looked like they wanted to feed him and then they tried to feed the ball to AD. They was trapping. Tatum did a great job on LeBron actually in those final few minutes. He did a really good job. He was trying to help AD because they wanted to give it AD the ball, and at the same time staying on LeBron, making sure he doesn't get a 3 or an easy shot. Yeah. So that was a great defense by Tatum. Kemba struggled a lot throughout this game.
Yeah.
He looked like he wasn't in rhythm. Of course, credit to the Lakers defense. They are one of the best defenders in this league. But I mean, Kemba, some of that skill set, you can't have 4 points.
Yeah. And again, sometimes it's going to be games like this in which, you just can't find your rhythm, but it's also best for you to try to impact the game on different ways. And it just seems as if, he made an attempt, but it just wasn't enough. And I think that's the reason, it was so close of a game that it was, is because of the fact that he didn't have it going. Things could have probably been different or probably still been the same if he want to contribute a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't he have one win against LeBron? Yeah, I don't know what's up with him. He just can't beat LeBron apparently.
I think he got a couple of more wins now since he joined the Celtics. But when he was on the Hornets, most definitely.
The Celtics got big bench production for Robert Williams. He was really balling.
Yeah.
He was really doing good. They needed that because they wasn't getting anything else from that bench. And as I said, besides Brown and Tatum, everybody else was struggling. So they needed a third guy to step up. Robert Williams was that guy. I know you saw that pass that Tatum did.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was such a great pass.
Pull up the footage?
Yeah, pull up footage, yeah. But Daniel Theis also had a good game as well. But in the end, Lakers was just able to survive. Really, they was really able to survive because they almost gave up this league. I felt that the Celtics had it. They probably should have won it.
Yeah.
But it didn't go in their favor. And as a result, the defending champions beat the Boston Celtics in this legendary rivalry.
Yeah. Now they got the advantage.
Yep. All right. That was the only primetime game happening, but there was, as I said, a lot of craziness around the league. So what shall we start off with, John?
I want to talk about Jimmy Butler's return to the court.
Yes, Jimmy Butler is back.
After it seemed like forever, it looked like he'd even stuck the season in a way. The way how he's been out for so long.
It's his first game. Actually, I'll let you go.
Yeah, we haven't seen Jimmy Butler in a good minute. The last time I could record seeing him was on Christmas Day. After that, I don't remember seeing it. After
I don't do that. He played in the beginning of January, I believe.
Okay. So my bad, Jimmy, but it's been that long. It's about to be February, and you just coming back. But glad to see you back on the court, and you had a game for the ages. Um, that the Kings Heat game was really entertaining from a standpoint. The Kings got out to start off the game early, big time. De'Aaron Fox was doing well, and the whole team had it going from offensively wise, of course, because they don't play no defense themselves. And then the Heat started to make their run. He started to make their run coming down or whatsoever. And then at that point, up until the third quarter, it was all Heat, and they had they not only did they come back, but they had a good lead going into. I think they went into double digits. Then the Kings came back, and then it was a close game from there. And as a result, the Kings had a last opportunity to have a game-winning shot, and it just didn't convert.
Yep. The Heat finally, it feels like they're getting back together. This felt like the Heat of old.
Yeah.
Not quite as much because at the end of the day, they only beat the Kings by 1, but it felt like now you're getting into rhythm. And Jimmy Butler, come on. I mean, he's one of you don't know, he's one of my favorite players in the league. His mentality, what he brings to the game, the energy, the competitive nature of his, it's just up there with the amongst the greats. In terms of that mentality and that competitive nature. He hasn't played a game since I think the beginning of January. Comes back, first game back, drops 30.
Yeah.
It's like he hasn't left. Like he's been doing this. And you can't give him enough credit to him. Jimmy Butler is the leader of this team. He's their best player. And when he's on the court, he makes everyone better. He brings the best out of everyone on that court. And you see it. And you saw it.
Yeah, you did. Nah, we did. We
Yep.
saw it in the finals. We saw it on the teams he's been on before. There's a big impact, and we're seeing it now. And we saw it today.
Yep. Finally, the Heat get their star player back. Of course, there's still a lot of role players missing. Avery Bradley still out. Harkless still out. Leonard still out. And their sixth man, Dragic, is still out.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, still a great win in Jimmy Butler's return. All right. I guess we should our next game, we should probably talk about that Portland game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Portland Trailblazers played the Chicago Bulls, and in new age Chicago Bulls fashion, they lost via a Damian Lillard buzzer beater. Pull up the footage.
Yeah.
And not only did Dame have that buzzer beater, but he also dropped 44, I believe, in the game as well.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did drop 44 in that game.
And it was from a Bulls perspective, it was embarrassing. Really embarrassing because this could have been a winnable game because everybody was clicking on all cylinders offensively. Kobe White had a great game. Zach LaVine had a great game. Lauri Markkanen, your guy, showed up finally with his best game of the season.
We've been waiting for this since last season, so I don't know what happened. Well,
no, he had a good game against Thunder in his first game, I think.
Yeah, but again, I've been waiting for this since last season.
Yeah, his first game back. Thaddeus Young was a bucket away from a triple double.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard Thaddeus Young since Philly. Actually, no, I heard him when he was playing in Indiana.
Was he in Indiana?
Yeah, I was saying when he's in Indiana. But yeah, this was a winnable game, and the Bulls are up by 4 with less than a minute to go. And they just coughed it up. Costly turnovers, the jump ball, exactly on that they had, in which the Blazers, that's how the Blazers got the chance for Dame to get the buzzer beater shot. Because of that jump ball.
Yeah, because and I think to even start off the game, I think the Bulls even got off to a pretty good lead in which they looked like they were taking the momentum like up and up and up as time went on. And then the Blazers, in Blazers fashion, of course, because we know how great their offense is, they were able to mount a comeback, and they basically, the momentum just shifted from one team to the other team, and it looked like the Bulls just forgot how to play basketball. They forgot how and mind you, again, they're not used to winning, so they don't know how to maintain leads like that. And again, it's like the only person who probably has the potential to help that team maintain leads is obviously Zach Levine. And even though he had a good game, that Bulls team, it just
Yeah, and his cancer was eating,
mhm.
and Trent had a good game. And it's so embarrassing because Melo had a bad game. Obviously, all the other injuries that they suffered, and yet they were
Yeah,
still able to come out and win this game. You should be embarrassed if you play on that Bulls team.
exactly.
And we need better performance from the Bulls. So that is not the way to lose.
Exactly.
But for the Trailblazers, a great win, because they need to keep these wins up, even despite this injury, because this Western Conference is crazy. They lose 2 in a row, they could drop a lot. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. The other game, I guess the last game that we'll be discussing, was the Hornets and the Milwaukee Bucks game. And oh, so you go?
Nah, you go, because I didn't get the opportunity to get that one. You go. You go for that.
So you didn't see? You know that's what I was talking. What other game did you see?
I just saw only those
Okay, only
outside of the
those two.
time when there's only
Right.
those two.
So I'll talk about this Hornets and this Bucks game.
It must have not been that good, huh?
Disappointing for the Bucks. Giannis.
Oh, do you mean the
The
person that crowns himself?
person that crowned himself had 35, 18, and 9. So maybe you should shut up. Casual talk. Ignore my ignorant co-host. The Bucks lost this game in embarrassing fashion, and Terry Rozier. The story of the night was Terry Rozier got an injury and did not return to the game. So that means LaMelo got more minutes, and LaMelo took this chance to have the best game of his young career. 27 points. I guess it's just the ball effect. You get dominated by Lonzo the day before. Now it's time for LaMelo.
Nah, but that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. It
Yeah,
runs in the
that is kind of nice if you're playing if you're LeVar Ball. But if you're a player on that Bucks team, it's not nice at all.
Nah, it's not.
Yeah, LaMelo just was doing everything, making plays, whether it was passing the ball or scoring the ball. Gordon Hayward, we all know what he's been doing this entire season, trying to prove me wrong every chance he gets, dropping another 20-plus point game performance, 27, and they was able to beat this Bucks team, even though Holiday had a good game, Middleton could have had a better game, and Giannis had a dominant game, but that's it. So the stars came to play, but the rest of the team, and that thing called defense, where is that? Giannis got dunked on by Cody Zeller. Like, come on, man.
Nah, I'm gonna roll the footage on that one.
That's a bad rap. That's you defense player of the year. Come on, man. You can't get dunked on by Cody Zeller. Shouldn't get dunked on by anybody.
Well, there's a reason why he got chosen with the fourth pick back in the day, because
that is still a terrible pick. He could dunk on Giannis 10 straight times. Michael Jordan, that was a terrible pick. You could have got him in the second round.
He was
a good. Cody Zeller is a good role player, not a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
But that's no knock on Cody. That is a knock on Jordan. The GOAT of worst owners.
Oh man, you just took this time to slander Michael Jordan a little bit.
He's a terrible coach. Yeah, I mean, terrible owner. He was a terrible GM. He was a terrible mentor. Just act Kwame. He was a terrible teammate. Act Jerry Stackhouse.
All right.
And Steve Kerr.
Well, we still waited for episodes 11 and 12 of The Last Dance, Wizards years.
I was joking in those final little rants, but he no, I was joking about the owner. He is a terrible owner. And if you're a Bucks fan, you should be embarrassed because this is not the way to go.
Well, yeah, but hey, let's be honest though. He made a good decision though, drafting LaMelo. You can't take that away.
Yes, he did.
It's
But
early. It's early.
no. He made a good decision. He made a good decision. Yeah. All right. It is prediction times for tonight's set of games. And as I said, there is a game on in about an hour and a half or so.
Yeah.
So we shall get right into these predictions. First, starting off with the 1:00 game featuring the Los Angeles Clippers up against my New York Knicks. Who do you got?
The Clippers.
The Clippers upset Knicks.
Yeah.
They ain't playing in the Garden. That's all I gotta say. PG can't take the Garden.
Don't do that.
Oh, please. You can't take playing in Utah. Then you take
Stop. Come on, man.
Nah, I'm playing. I'm not playing on the Knicks, but I'm playing about Peach playing the Garden. But I do have the Knicks. I think the pull off this upset. The Jazz or the Nuggets? Red hot Jazz against these inconsistent Nuggets.
What you think?
The Nuggets.
Yeah.
I mean,
hell no.
Why not? The Jazz, this is the same team the Jazz blew a 3-1 lead to.
Don't do that.
Oh, yes, a rematch from the first round of last year's legendary series between the Nuggets and the Utah Jazz. You got the Jazz, and I got the Jazz. That's all that needs to be said. Unless Jamal Murray dropped 40. Actually, no, you don't win when you drop 40 in this league now. No. So 50.
Wait, time out. Even with 50 or 60, you don't win.
No, if you drop 50 or 60 and you're playing on the Wizards, you don't win.
Oh.
Sorry, Beal. 76ers or the Pacers?
76ers.
Sixers. The Magic or the Raptors?
I don't know. I'm skipping that one.
Oh, skip. I got the Raptors.
I got the Magic then.
The first primetime game that will be oh, by the way, the Jazz and Nuggets are primetime games, so we'll be discussing that. The second primetime game that we'll be discussing features the Brooklyn Nets, of course. KD, Kyrie, and James Harden.
The Nets. That's it.
You didn't even let me finish.
Who was the okay? Just say the opponent right now, and I'll tell you it's going to be the Nets.
The Washington Wizards.
Yep. Thank you. The Nets. Come on.
The Nets might drop 200. I got the Nets. And lastly, the Nets really might drop 200 on them. And lastly, the Cavaliers up against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
The Cavaliers.
I think Karl-Anthony Towns, as I said, might be coming back, but I don't know. But either way, I got the Cavs. All right. Now I think it's time to wrap things up. First, I guess we should talk about there's some G League moves going on. One, apparently up in New York City, where you live. DSJ, Dennis Smith Jr., point guard of the Knicks, has requested to be placed in the G League to, I guess, boost his stock. Show these teams that he can still play, prove critics wrong, because he's been having a rough going ever since Luka got drafted to the Mavs, and they had to change up their playing style to best fit Luka, and to best fit Luka wasn't to best fit DSJ, so they had to trade DSJ to the Knicks, and he never really played well against the Knicks system there last year. It wasn't really well. Of course, the fans booing him didn't help. And his confidence dropping, so he never really got into that rhythm that people thought he would have gotten into the league because of those factors.
Yeah. I just want to say this real quickly before we move on from it. I feel like the Mavericks drafting Luka was like the beginning to the end of his career in a way, in the low, and you didn't see it coming. You thought it would be good, but you just didn't see it coming. But yet, it was the beginning to the end of his career from that point on, or to the downhill. Let me not say end.
Like Kobe. Oh yeah, it was downhill. They drafted Luca. He was a small forward. They thought he could play him a small forward and he could work with DSJ. But they realized, oh, Luca needs to have the ball in his hands all the time. So they put him at point guard. And what is DSJ, a point guard,
Mhm.
and he needs the ball in his hands too. And that just didn't work. So yeah,
Basically.
we'll have more information. We'll see what's going on, whether he gets placed in the G League and how well he's doing in the G League as well, because
Yeah.
he is a good player, and I think he deserves an opportunity.
Very talented. Yeah.
Yep. And the next G League move or planned move was that the Houston Rockets' newest acquisition, Kevin Porter Jr., formerly of the Cleveland Cavaliers, with the locker room situation, has been now placed in the Gatorade League. This
Well,
is funny.
well, we already know why this is. Past situations, behavior issues, great talent. We know what he could do on the court, so there's no need to go into detail about that. But he like always, you're in a professional big man's league where a bunch of grown men. You need to learn.
Oh,
That's what I mean.
yeah,
I
I'm
say
about to
people.
say,
I mean like
like Kobe.
grown men. When you're in a
Yeah,
grown man's league, you
Hakeem's not
have to
playing.
mature.
Yeah, David
So
Robinson not playing. Patrick
stop,
Ewing,
stop, stop, stop,
Dexter
stop. Come
not
on,
playing.
man.
Oh, my fault. I was just talking to myself. Yeah, Charles Barkley not playing. But yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. going into the D League. I think he's gonna be great in the D League. I mean, he's better than a lot of the players. He is an NBA player.
Yeah.
But I think he needs to grow up.
Man, that's all that it is. And it's no disrespect. We not disrespect. We know he's a grown
Yeah,
man, but sometimes you just need to
humble yourself.
humble yourself. Yeah, work on your flaws. Work on certain flaws. That's all that it is.
Yep, that is all that is. Anything else that we should go over? Anything else you want to say real quickly?
Nah, except for the slick remarks that you were saying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
What did I do?
Yeah. Following and stuff. Yeah, go on.
Following
Following trends and stuff. Go on.
following trend. You follow a lot of trends.
No, do
Ben and
not.
Jerry is a trend.
Whoa. Living and dying is a trend.
Listen,
So
man,
I
this is the
think
same. This is the same man that refused to eat a Popeye chicken sandwich. Then next thing you know, a month later, he ate it and he loved it. Now he eats it consistently.
don't do that. I do not eat it consistently.
This is the biggest hypocrite I've ever met in my life.
No. I
Eat it
tried it one
consistently.
time.
I think he might eat it
It
every
was
day.
good. I tried it one time. It was good, and then I let it go.
This man, the way he was talking to me, I said, "Come on, try it. Try it. You gotta love it." He was acting like I telling him to shoot up heroin. That
And
it's
probably
just a
was
sandwich. It's
heroin
just a
inside.
chicken
Hey,
sandwich.
you don't know. It could probably be heroin in the sandwich. You just don't know.
No, only on 125th.
Don't do that.
All right. I guess we should leave it at that. With all of that being said, thank you guys for watching today's pod. Make sure you tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And make sure to also follow IG down in the description below.
Yes, sir. And once again, I am Evan.
I'm John.
And this is the Mind of Basketball Podcast. You just love trends.